Alright, so I recently rewatched the Spider-Man movies and came across the Amazing Spider-Man again, and decided to show you guys my Amazing Spider-Man figure from Hot Toys again. See how it held up through all the years, and yeah, so there's the box. I haven't had him on display at all. It's been sitting in the box, so most likely he should still be pretty decent. Alright, and here's the picture of the back of the box, and you can see Spider-Man doing his spider pose. And so let's get into it. Alright, so here we have Amazing Spider-Man outside of packaging, and let's go for accessories first. There's the base, the oval shaped base, and then he has two head sculpts. One is the Spider-Man head, and one is the Andrew Garfield head sculpt. And then he comes with a bunch of hands and 4 webbings. 2 you could attach to the wrist, 2 are just strings, well, plastic pieces, and then there's the figure itself. Now this is a figure that came out 10 years ago. On the back of the box it says 2013. Right now it is 2023. And let's see if this figure is still holding up or whether this thing is gonna deteriorate. Now from the looks of it, he is still very much as it was 10 years ago. And here's a look at the figure from the back. Now, one thing that they could have done well would have been the inner body that they chose. This is a skinny body. It works for this character because in the film he was very, very skinny. But this figure is also very lumpy. You can see around the shoulders, around the bicep section here, there are 2 lumps there. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it's padding they added or something. I'm not sure, but I think nowadays they would have made it a lot better. Way better, actually. The head sculpt, I think it still holds up. I mean, it's a little cartoony version of Andrew Garfield. Just a little bit, but I think the likeness is still decent. It looks like a young version of him. But I guess if you compare it to the new one, so I guess if you compare this head sculpt with the upcoming one, I'll put it right next to this. Well, I'll do it straight on. Next to the one that's coming out from No Way Home, you could clearly see the difference between the two and the original one, the Amazing Spider-Man version. It's a little bit cartoony and still, I mean, it's still okay. I don't mind this head sculpt at all, but of course the newer one would be nicer. But this one has a little hint of cartooniness to it, if that's a word. But yeah, I think it's still a very, very good looking head sculpt nonetheless. Okay, now to switch out the head sculpt, the way they designed this, it's a little bit strange. I guess I kind of understand the reasoning behind it, but the way you detach it is just to pull it out, and it's around the neck section. It's basically right here, but there's nothing really holding it down that much. The clamp here doesn't click on that well, so if you flick it around, the head will come off the figure. So like this, he's gonna come right off. That head's gonna come right off. And here's the Spider-Man head sculpt. And I like this. I'm probably have mentioned this in the original video that I like this design a lot more because of how insect-like this looks. It's not your traditional cartoony look of Spider-Man. Not the iconic look, which I'm okay with. A lot of people don't like this design because the way it looks, but I'm okay with it. So I would probably want to take this off before I move it. So I guess I understand why they did it, because they wanted to be seamless around the neck section. But nowadays I think they went the other way. Instead of having it look seamless, they just cut it right there and then just left it like that. But this is a good. I don't mind this at all, but it would have been nice if the way they attaches onto the body was a little bit better or something. Maybe they could have used magnets. I think that might have been a better alternative for if they were to create this again. Maybe yeah, magnets would have been a good option for this. But here you can see it looks pretty nice. It's almost seamless in a way, but I mean you can still see the seam right here, but it's nothing around the neck, which I like, so it kind of covers everything up. Yeah, I'm okay with it, the way they did it. And then now let's look closer at the suit itself, see if there's any tear or anything like that on here. So from the looks of it, I'm just looking at it without doing any type of dynamic poses or anything like that. If you haven't touched it at all, if you just left it on display or something, I think the suit will still be okay. But here you can see once you bend the arm, then you can see this section here bunches up. It looks kind of ugly, but I guess I don't know if there's anything they can do with it. Yeah, with this suit here, this suit does have a butterfly joint for the shoulders. I think some might have been broken, but mine is still okay. Since I don't really pose this guy, I wouldn't give him dynamic poses or anything like that either, just because I'm so scared of breaking this body or something. But as far as torso is concerned, still can do crunches, and arch not so much. I guess you can still do some arches. Here you can see it does bunches up, like right there, even a little bit bunches up. But in the movie, his suit is like that too, so I'm okay with that. And now if you bend the elbow, you can see issues here. Look at how ugly that elbow is. They went double joint, but I guess back then the double joints weren't that good, so it looks, yeah, quite ugly actually. I think I would have preferred if they did single joint for these things, but I guess you could do that if you so choose to. If you just don't move that top portion, you just move the bottom portion, then you can give them good elbow movement. You can still do 90 degrees, but again, here it bunches up everything. And as for the legs, yeah, it's just ball joints here. Would I stretch it? No, I probably wouldn't. It looks nice as is right now. And let's see, knee bend. Knee band's okay. It doesn't have that thick joint. I mean, you can still see a little bit of it, the thick joint. Oh, sorry. The thick joint right here that's sticking out, but it hides pretty decently, I guess. And then the ankle, it's all one piece. The boot's all one piece all the way down. So yeah, there's no tearing or cracking or anything like that around the boots either. So that's good. This bottom of the sole there. Yeah, I don't see any issues with it. The pattern is still nice. And yeah, I think it's holding up quite nicely. So if anyone's interested in buying this figure online, I think he should still be okay, depending on how the person treat the figure initially. Because if they didn't do any dynamic poses, I think the figure would look just as good as it came out the first day when they issued it back in 2013. Yeah, let's get a closer look at the head as well. And I remember picking and choosing, making sure the seam looks perfect on mine. I was looking through a few of them at my comic shop, and found one that I was happy with. Yeah, seam line looks good. And the webbing looks nice, and overall I am very surprised how this figure held up, because I would imagine something, because a lot of the older figures, like any of those fake leather-like material, they start deteriorating. Yeah, like the belt on characters, like what was that Christian Bale figure from Terminator Salvation. I think the suit, the jacket started deteriorating a lot for people. And then my Wolverine from the original, what was that film? Is it just Wolverine? I think, yeah, the Wolverine movie. The belt on that one completely deteriorated. I didn't even have to do anything. I just touched it and then it started crumbling. So yeah, but this one, the material looks okay. The yeah, because it's just fabric with rubber like material painted over it. I guess just paint, rubber paint or something. I don't know what type of paint this is. And over fabric and printed on fabric, and still looks good. And I don't see any cracking or anything like that. Nothing around the red, nothing around the blue, nothing around the black lines or anything like that either. So I'm surprised about that. So it held up nicely, and yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think this thing looks great, just as it did when I first purchased it. Yeah, it held up nicely. Yeah. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man figure. I don't have that many. Always worry about buying Spider-Man figures because of the suit, whether it's gonna deteriorate, whether it's gonna get stuck or anything like that, and even the elbows, even the armpit section, because they have fabric, they have those foam, these foam spacer thing. They had it here, and it wasn't sticking to it, so nothing came off or anything like that. None of the pattern came off, so I'm okay about that. Nothing melted or anything like that we heard horror stories about. Yeah, it looks fine. It held up nicely, and yeah, most likely if I were to display him, he's just going to be standing anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to give him dynamic poses. If I want to give him figure dynamic poses, I would probably go with the 1/12 scale and play the heck out of those, because those are meant for posing. But these guys, yeah, I have a hard time posing any of these 1/6 scale, because I'm just very concerned when it comes to giving them dynamic poses, leaving them in dynamic poses or anything like that. So I tend not to do too much with my Hot Toys or any of the 1/6 scale. But 1/12 scale, I pose the heck out of it. Those are just fun to pose. But yeah, overall, really nice. Head sculpt still looks great. I think it still passes even nowadays. Again, looks a little bit cartoony, not as realistic as some of the newer ones, like that Tobey Maguire one. Wow, that one looks fantastic, and the Andrew Garfield one also looks fantastic. And yeah, so if you're looking on eBay or any of the places, you're thinking about purchasing this particular Spider-Man, then take a look at the photos that some people put out, and make sure they're current photos, and if they are, then it should be fine. I mean, yeah, figure wise, I don't think there's any issues with it. I mean, yeah, nothing. I have no issues with this guy. So yeah, it looks great, fantastic. So there you go. There's a revisiting of Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and back in 2013, 10 years later, still good. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching.